So just bear with me, everyone. We are not live yet. I just need to do some background work. If I do some background work, then that would be fine. Like, let's make it public. We are now public. So I'm going to share with somebody. Hello, everyone. Just bear with me. I need to share with different organization, and so we will have a nice program. If I can share this program with others, so just give me 2 seconds, and that would be 2 seconds, everyone. Let me see where I can share. I need to share with the right hand group. That's done. I need to share with another group. Let's have a look. Trying to share as many platforms as I can so everybody will listen to us. Okay, one more, then I'll stop sharing. Okay.
I'm trying to add mine quickly if I can.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Today is what? Friday, the 3rd of July. How quickly it's gone, right? Before I start the program, today program is a special program. So if me or my guest say something, do something unexpectedly or unintentionally, please forgive them. Apologies in advance. In live, there is no script. Compassionate can take over. So it's not hurt feeling. So apologies, disclaimer, apologies in advance. Today, oh, my man disappeared. Today we have a special guest, and I mean special, is a young, talented, and we have an organization behind that special guest. So before I say anything, as I said, I am streaming in many platforms. If anybody wants to make a comment, they have to make a comment on my Facebook portfolio because I have streamed about 4 or 5 platforms, so I don't see it, right? Also, I am streaming on live YouTube channel under my name, Somuzmia, famous name. So if you type Somuzmia, you will find it there. So this is, as I said, it's a young Bangladeshi or Bengali boy, and his dad's with him. I can see that, father and son there. So before I start the program, we also have 3 special guests. Again, I'll try to introduce the guest before I come to the boy. So first guest will be my friend and my colleague, a foot doctors or podiatrist, whatever you want to call it. Joseph Olive, if you could explain yourself and introduce yourself, please.
Good evening, everyone. As Somers has kindly invited me to this lovely talk today. I'm a podiatrist. I specialize in sort of foot and ankle surgery as well. But I'm here to talk about sort of the service that we're trying to provide to ethnic minority children, because I feel that they are not well provided for by the actual governing body, and they seem to have to produce far better results than Caucasian counterparts, unfortunately. And I found that as my daughter's been sort of carrying on, and she's always been sort of top 3, top 4 in her age group in tennis. However, she's always got the least amount of funding, etc., etc. So I thought myself and Hassan, who's also on this evening as well, we first started this performance ethnic tennis to provide funding to people who couldn't afford, because tennis actually, in the end is a rich man's sport. So we thought we'd start off this this organization to bring some funding to kids who couldn't really afford the tennis. They are mainly in the ethnic minority. So that's why myself and Hassan started this, and Charles, who is also here today, has kindly joined us and is helping us out to get coaching, a good coaching standard out. So that's why we're here today. Why I'm here today, to promote the what we're doing for people like Jilu and Raheel, his son, to provide them with better tennis facilities and better tennis coaches, and hopefully give them a more of a level playing field against other people who get funding from the governing body, from another funding organization known as Tennis First, where miraculously they're a charity, but you have to be in the top 5 in the country to get money from them. So it's bizarre. So we started this, and we're giving funding to people who don't get any other funding and who can't afford tennis, basically. So that's it. That's my spiel.
Thank you, Joseph. Now I go to Hassan. If you could introduce yourself and a bit about your organization as well.
Yes, good evening, everybody. I'm Hassan Sawyer. I work in financial services, and I am also a tennis parent. I have 5 children that play. They're a little bit older now, but none of them have ever received any funding from the LTA. And what we'd like to do, and myself and Joe have got together to really bring the sport of tennis, and it is a lovely sport of tennis, to everybody, whether they can afford it or not, whether they're in the top 5 or the top 500. If they have aspirations to get to the top, then we would love to help them. I mean, growing up in East London myself, tennis wasn't a sport that just didn't have access to it, and I don't believe East London, for instance, has changed very much since. Your parents need to have a certain degree of finances behind them if you want to play tennis to a performance level. So hopefully we can get the word out that the talent doesn't necessarily equate to your parents' finances. So, and this is what we can try and push on. So that's why I'm here today with Joe, and I can see Raheel's improvement in the last few times I've seen him play is immense, and that can only come from a desire to win, a desire to better himself, to be as good as he can. I don't see why he should be stopped because he doesn't have the funds for the right coaching or for the right travel. So that's what we're about, and that's what we're hoping to promote. Really give these kids an opportunity.
Thank you very much. And then Charles, if you could introduce yourself and your role, please.
Hey, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Yes, my name's Charles Homewood, and I'm one of the tour coaches for the WTA, and I've been luckily with tennis, I've been educated by some of the best coaches in the world. And Joe, I met by coaching his daughter, and from that he asked me to see if I can get in and help their charity, because when you have children who are talented, it really is about how good their education is, and that is basically my position.
Thank you very much. Now we come to our star of the moment, our young man. Assalamu alaikum, Raheel beta. How are you? If you could introduce yourself, I'm sure you can, and your dad can support you as well. And either way, all yours.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Raheel.
You need to speak up.
Hello, welcome.
Walaikum salam.
Raheel Rahman, and I've been playing tennis since the age of 3 and 3 months.
Age of?
Raheel started at the age of 3, so he precisely 3 years 3 months he had his first lesson.
And how old is he now?
An hour lesson on a Saturday.
Yeah. So how old is he now?
I'm 14.
14. So how long you been practicing tennis?
Since the age of 3 and 3 months.
3 years, 3 months.
7 years.
7 years.
11.
11 years.
Yeah.
You've been practicing tennis.
Yeah.
Excellent. That is the shining star of Bengali. So there you go. We already got fans there, right? Ruman Mama, there's the star, the new Bengali star yet in Bangladesh. By the way, he's Ruman Hussain, he is calling from Sylhet, Bangladesh. He's watching from Sylhet inside Bangladesh. He's one of the executive of Dirai Thana group where I am streaming now. We got 55,000 members in that StreamYard. Thank you, Ruman Mama. Now, Raheel, I come back to you. So I will now go back to Mr. Hassan, for example, about your organization. If you could tell me the full name of the organization and what purpose did you set up this organization and how many of you involved in this organization? And that's to Mr. Hassan.
Yeah, the organization's Performance Ethnic Tennis. The organization was started by myself and Joe, and with input of other parents in our area. Charles has kindly helped with some of the coaching and bringing in some ex-professional tennis players to help out through his contacts. We've had some great help from tennis clubs offering free courts, and a real good development there of the actual playing and the practice element. I'm really excited about it, and I'm sure all the kids involved are. I know my own kids enjoy it, and it really helps push them. And it is performance. It's for players that really want to excel, and really want to take their tennis to a level. It could be that they could be after a scholarship at a top college. It could be that they want to go professional, try their hand at the tour. We will do everything we can to help them. I will use my contacts within the business world. So will Joe, and we'll encourage everybody to do the same and really help these kids.
Thank you, Raheel. If you could explain to me, or this, we have a question. Is here Bangladeshi? Obviously, you are. That goes to Raheel Dad. After যদি কিছু introduce দিলাম আপনার দেশের বাড়ি কিছু, তখন at least people from Bangladesh who's listening, they will know. So
okay.
Okay.
In that case, I'll speak in Sylheti then.
Yes, if you can, please.
Yes, Assalamualaikum. আমি বাংলাদেশি, সিলেটর আর কি সাতফতানা যাওয়া ওইলগিয়ারিতে আমার বাড়ি। আর আমার ছেলে রাহিলে ওইলগিয়ারি টেনিস খেলা স্টার্ট করছেন, লন টেনিস 3 বছর 3 মাস বয়সের সময়, আর এখনো পর্যন্ত খেলাইরা। তার বয়স 14.5 বর্তমানে চলের। আর ওইলগিয়ারি যে প্রত্যেক সপ্তাহ খেলাইরা খুব ভালো পাইনিটা। আর আল্লাহর রহমতে ওইলগিয়ারি জেনে বাওয়াত দিয়ে খেলাইন। বাওয়াতর খেলোয়াড়ের একটা আলাদা একটা গুণ থাকে বা অ্যাডভান্টেজ থাকে। ওগুলা ওইলগিয়ারি জেনে সাপ্তাহিক চালাইয়া দেয়। আর অলওয়েজ দোয়া করেন, লুক ফরওয়ার্ড করেন যেতে কোর্টো টেনিস কোর্টো যতটুকু সম্ভব হয় গিয়ারি বেশি সময় খাটাইতা। আর আমরা আইসি ওখানে ওইলগিয়ারি জেনে একটা অর্গানাইজেশন নাম জেনে পারফরমেন্স এথনিক টেনিস, যে একটা ওইলগিয়ারি জেনে আমরা সাপোর্ট পাইরাম কিছু। খুব খুশি আমরা।
So performance, sorry to break you, it's called Performance Tennis.
Performance Ethnic Tennis.
It's a charitable organization which is helping Raheel to achieve his dream, more or less.
Yeah, we are very fortunate to be actually supported by them for some time now, and they are also providing squad sessions which are weekly. We've only just started a few weeks on a Saturday, so we're really looking forward to it tomorrow. And we've got some friends that are actually looking forward to it. I've had a call earlier, so all great. And just to add to it, that we've actually had Andy Murray, who was former #1, a British player, that his coach has actually came and kick-started our squad session. That was really good, and yes, we can't praise enough the sort of team behind it. So Charles, Joe, Hassan, Jamie Delgado, also for delivering the session. It was exceptional.
Okay, thank you. Now I come to the coach, Charles. Charles, what do you see? You are training Raheel now and other children. What do you see on them? What make you the passion to train them as well? And how can they achieve their desired goal?
Very good question. So Raheel's got very, very natural tennis timing, and how that really is the ability to track the ball and actually bat and use his agility with his body and use the court, the force of the court, and time it with the ball. So that's quite a lot of things you've got to do. You've got to time your feet, you've got to time your hands, you've got to time the ball, and then you've also got to send it over to your opponent to a certain position to try and bother them. So he actually has quite a natural instinct from that. But the but is there are quite a lot of kids globally which have that same asset. So then to try to overcome that, you need to get very, 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 very good training. Maybe in my day, you didn't need the training, and actually Raheel's natural talent would push himself through the international scene. But actually, a lot of people now around the world, they're getting the tennis education's gone up. So actually these talented children, unfortunately, don't get that opportunity. And followed by that, to get that opportunity, you need to really improve your tennis education. The way the tennis is built, it's quite difficult because it really relies on maybe organizations just selecting your ranking. And if your ranking's in 1 to 5, then obviously you've got a head start. But that doesn't mean that that's going to be right at all. There's lots of people who are ranked 100 or 200 nationally at a young age, and then they can end up being an international star later. So the only way that's able to be supported is literally by people like Hassan and Joe, who are proactive people putting together a charity. And actually, if you didn't have that type of heart and passion, people like Raheel, unfortunately, they won't get that chance to see what their talent can do. And then going further with that, the other thing I must mention is the fact that, you know, Jamie Delgado came out. These little details. There's a company called Acify that came down at a place in Chiswick called King's Schoolhouse, and Joe very kindly was happy to support this financially for his time, Jamie's time, and just to have that insight at world #1 level to understand the benchmark, those little details, and then it comes back to me. I can then rehearse the work and actually allow Raheel to grow through week by week, month by month, instead of getting lost in the sport because there isn't top guidance to help the children actually flow through the sport.
Thank you. Now I come to my friend Joseph. Especially Joseph, you touched something about 10 minutes in the beginning of the program, that tennis is a rich man's game, just like cricket was once upon a time. I think cricket still is rich man's game because you have to buy the gear, buy this and that. So tennis, as I said, something especially on ethnic minority, I haven't seen anything that much on the international level. Why is that?
Well, the thing with the ethnic minority is, one, a lot of the ethnic minorities are in inner cities, in an area where they have other sports which don't cost any money, like kicking a football around. So you might get someone who's very athletic, who has natural talent, etc., who might get on a tennis court when they do these. They do this thing called parks tennis, which is free for all. They give them a go, and if they're any good, then they'll be told you need to have a lesson. But the lesson costs money. And if you're having a lesson with any top coach, you're generally going to be spending at least £50 to about £100 per lesson. So, you know, if you've got limited funds to actually feed yourself, how are you going to find £50 for a lesson? So kicking a football would be a lot cheaper than trying to hit a tennis ball over a net, basically.
Can I add in there?
Yes, please.
So there's a nice gentleman who I coach, who's an Indian player, actually, a player called VJ, and he he's actually really talented, but didn't get the funds to nurture his talent. And he should have been about 150 in the world, 180 in the world. And at the moment, he's floating around about 800. So that's just a further data point on Joe's point.
Okay.
And but I think that's not the only problem we have. But being Asian, sport is something that Asian families generally think is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because they think, you know, you're wasting your time now, go and study. And actually my daughter is going, she's actually trying to get an article published at the moment in the British Journal of Sports and Sports Medicine, basically. And she looked at the disparity between children and sporting activity, and she actually found in her studies that at primary school level, I think it was 30% of white children were actively in sports. That's primary school, years 5 and 6, only 30% outside of school. Asian children, it was 22%. Now, extrapolate that now to secondary school level, years 9, 10, 11, the Asian children in sports drops down to 11 to 14%. Now, is there also parents think not just that, you know, it's a fun side of things. It's also do parents also they have a wrong attitude, and actually sports is not, you know, is a waste of time. So we need to change that as well, and sort of come out to these parents and say, look, it's very good for you because it's very good for your mental health anyway. Yeah, activity, physical activity. If you go through like the American College of Sports and Exercise Medicine, that is something that is, you know, 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week helps every single, you know, it's multifactorial, isn't it? So multi-system. So you know, we need to educate parents that exercise and physical activity, and particularly playing sports, is very, very good for your children.
This is probably, Joseph, it's probably what I call a stumbling block in the Asian culture, our culture, the sports. When our children, we want to become, the famous topic we all say, they want to become lawyers, doctors, barristers. But they don't realize within that there is another exercise coexist. You need to be physically fit in this day and age, right? Plus, if you look at the football, I don't know whether you have heard, there's one Bengali chap. He's half, right? But he's from Sylhet district. He plays for a Leicester Premier League. He's a Bengali boy. So he's so proud that first Asian he's playing also, probably he plays for England team. And he's a Bengali. He was surprised. We're really surprised.
Well, yeah, I mean, sport is very good for the intellect as well. It's problem solving, it's quick thinking, hand-eye coordination. It keeps the brain active. And it's so relaxing as well. You know, if you have a child that's studying for their exams, for their 11 plus GCSEs, A levels, an afternoon playing tennis, it really does relax them, get the adrenaline flowing again. We need to tell parents this. It's all not all about reading the book. So it does help mentally as well. It really does.
It's physical, like Joseph said, physical medicine. It's there. It needs to be. Now we come back to our star again, Raheel Rahman. Right. What you've been saying? You've been playing tennis for above 11 years. Have you won any award yet?
Yes, I have.
Can you name us so at least the world should know you are the star? You are the Bengali star today. I want those, by the way, those Bengali people throughout the world, because I know people watching this channel and many other channel platforms, America, Australia, Canada, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan. I want you to sponsor those sort of child. What's the point holding on to money? Let them be bright star. They need financial help. That's what they need. They need financial help. They should be our future star. So all these businessmen, restaurantmen, there you go. If you want to know, there is an organization which Joseph, Hassan, others have started. And at the end of the program, I will give the full detail, full name, and how you can contact them. Even if you want to send your children, right? Or if you want to start something like that, they are there they're spending their own time, their own initiative, so the children, especially BME, ethnic community, can have that privilege. So sorry, Raheel, if you could start. I forgot my own questions, by the way. But what is your, what awards you have won?
I've won quite a few different tournaments. I've played for Essex a couple of times in both a couple of times.
Okay, so you won a Essex trophy, did you say?
No, I've played for Essex.
Yes, you played for the Essex.
Yeah.
And what?
For Essex as well.
Yes, I have won a trophy for Essex as well.
You have what? Okay. Do you want to mention any of your colleagues you play with, or you compete, or they're your rival?
No.
You don't want to. Okay then. So what do you are in this program or a live stream? What message do you want to say, especially to the Asian community or even non-Asian community? Because people, all walks of life, people are watching this program, or they're going to watch the recording. What message do you want to send them from your perspective, and how you can improve yourself as well? Or what is your ambition in future? What are you basically looking?
My ambition is to go all the way and become a pro and play Grand Slams and Davis Cup for the UK or Bangladesh.
And in Bangladesh, have you had, let me go to your dad. Dad, have you had any interrelation with Bangladesh tennis? Is there a tennis international level or anything exist on Bangladesh? Have you done any research on that?
I've done some research, sort of, I'm not sure how authentic, sort of that is, because there's a lot of information on the net available. But there are people that are playing tennis, but I think mainly at club level, but yeah, it's just, sort of, quite difficult to know how authentic things are. But what I would say, just to add on to what Raheel said, is, sort of like, he has been quite fortunate because even due to his background, playing for Essex, what that really means, okay, just to put it into context, that there's 4 players out of whole of Essex that are actually selected in their age group. People have to be invited. 8 players are invited into training with Essex, and then 4 are selected to go and actually represent them. So for that reason, it is quite a good thing, sort of, and it's inspiring for players constantly to be in that bracket.
That's good, thank you. যারা বাংলাদেশ যারা দেখায় আমরা দেশের যদি কোনো টেনিস ক্লাব থাকে বা ইন্টারন্যাশনালি টেনিস প্লেয়ার হল থাকেন, প্লিজ রাহেলের বাফের লগে যোগাযোগ করবাই, বিকজ তারা চাইরো একজনের প্ল্যাটফর্ম, দে ডোন্ট ওয়ান্ট ইয়োর হেল্প, বাট দে ওয়ান্ট ইফ লিয়েজ, মানে মানুষের লগে লিয়েজ হলে একটা জিনিস বাড়াইয়ায়, অথবা দে ক্যান এক্সচেঞ্জ। সো যদি বাংলাদেশের কোনো ন্যাশনাল প্লেয়ার থাকে, he want to go and practice in that country, so it's coming to the forefront. So please, আপনারা যদি আইন ফরওয়ার্ড হইয়া, if there is something exists, do contact with Thingy. I will now go to the coach. Coach, you have 2 minutes to final remark. Do you want to say anything, or anything you want to? You got 2 minutes. Mr. Charles, can you hear me? Charles? No. Okay, let's come to Joseph then. Joseph, you have 2 minutes to say something, anything you want to wrap up, any important question you've missed, or any message you want to give, or anything about your organization.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody who's supported us thus far. We're still out on Instagram. We are down as Performance Ethnic Tennis, and if anyone wants to follow us, we are, just please follow us. And also, if you want to come to our sessions, please send us a message on Instagram and we'll answer that. And I'd like to tell Jilu that Bangladesh who did play as well. So you should phone up or email the Bangladeshi Tennis Federation, and you might have a chance to sort of represent Bangladesh, because don't waste your time waiting for a GB invite.
No, because that's a good thing, because that's a good question. I'm sure if Bangladeshi ambassador any throughout the world, they may give that some sort of earache to somebody. There you go, because they need NRB, non-residential Bengali. They need that as well, because that's the way life is. Hassan,
sorry to interrupt. In response, I did actually previously email. I spoke to one of the sports ministers. I had the sort of privilege to show them round, because they happened to come to my workplace. So I did email them. They didn't actually respond to it, and tried to make contact with the Tennis Federation in Dhaka, which is the capital city of Bangladesh, which I haven't been responsive. But what I will take away from here is, to maybe to actually get in touch with them once again and just see what sort of response I get or not.
Brilliant. Mr. Hassan, you got 2 minutes, last 2 minutes. Any dying question you want to ask or dying message you want to send? It's all yours.
No, just my message would be to Raheel is just keep going, keep trying, don't give up. In your tennis career, you will have many successes and many failures, but the trick is to keep moving forward. And myself and Joe and your father and Charles, we will help you and devote our time, and also to anyone else in your situation who just wants to keep moving forward. That's what we're about.
Thank you. Charles, can you hear me? Charles? No, it's like Charles not hearing us. Anyway, any last message, Raheel, before we go? You got last message. It's your show. You are the star, Bengali star. কইলাও তুমি বাংলাতে কইলাও কইনি কেন তো অনেক বাঙালি বলতে দেখরা
Welcome. Thank you, Asha. I'm Peta and Performance Ethnic Tennis. Thank you, help
Okay, thank you. I'll drag it on. Jim. রাহেলে কইরো কি হে ওই সাপোর্ট চাইরো আমরার বিলাতের মাঝে অনেক স্পন্সর হল আসো ইফ কোন স্পন্সরে তার একটা বাঙালি আমরা একটা বাঙালি প্রাইড হে বাঙালি প্রাইড টেনিস ইজ আমার কলিগে জোসেফ কইছে ইটস এ রিচ ম্যানস টিম ইটস পাক্কা জো লাগে কিন্তু এথনিক কমিউনিটি বা এথনিক মাইনরিটি ই ফিল্ড অফ হোম সো হি ইজ এ নিউ স্টার্টিং ই স্টারে আমরা যদি অনেক হেল্প না করি then who else will help? That's all the boys asking, right? If any sponsor down, they want to sponsor the child or sponsorship, anything like that, or help their organization, please, it's all there for you. Joseph, if you could come back. Charles cannot hear us probably. If
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay. If you wanted to mention about your organization and where are you based, and if there's any contact number, it's your chance.
Yeah, so the best contact number is mine or Hassan's mobile, but I would just say if you go to Instagram, look for Performance Ethnic Tennis.
Performance Ethnic Tennis
on Instagram, and you just send us a message.
Yeah,
just direct messages and we'll come back to you. We are based in East London, however we've been supported by a few tennis clubs, as Charles mentioned, ACFI, who get us the coaching staff, and also the King's College ground where they have the tennis courts there, which is in West London. So we go there some weeks, and we're also in North London. We've been kindly given courts at Hazelwood Tennis Club as well. And actually, I've got to thank Alan Jones for supplying those courts free of charge to us. And Alan Jones, if people might know if they're my age, He was Joe Jury's coach, and she was the #1 British lady, got to #5 in the world, made 2 semi-finals at Grand Slams, and she's been the best tennis player, the female tennis player that's been produced by the UK since Virginia Wade and Sue Barker in the 1970s. So, you know, despite them having so much money in the British Tennis Federation, the Lawn Tennis Association, it's been 30 or 40 or 50 years since they produced a female Grand Slam champion. They're talking about producing Andy Murray, but actually Andy Murray is produced by Andy Murray and his mother, and not by the governing body here, unfortunately. So they're obviously doing something wrong. They need to be encouraging ethnic minority children, because they have got a lot of talent. They've got the desire, but they haven't got the money. So what we're asking for is some people who have got. We know that there are a lot of businessmen in ethnic minorities.
Yes.
Help and support these kids. You know,
there you go. And also, only not that, you are one few podiatrists. So, hey, my podiatry colleague, let's help our podiatry colleague. They got some money, some of the podiatrists, you rich podiatrists. We need to help Joseph, right? Because it is there. It is our profession. He is leading that way. Sports medicine, if you want to make money, there you go, right? So please, all of seriously, my podiatrist colleague, it is one of our podiatry colleague also step into that charity and that organization. Let's us give him also a boots. At least we got the feet. We can give a kick on that. So anything else before we go? Anybody else want to say anything?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's joined here. It's been great coming on the show, obviously. Joe, Hassan, Carl, thank you once again, obviously, for all the support or everything that you've been providing to this point. Because without, obviously your support, then Raheel would actually miss out. And genuinely, I say that he would miss out on the exceptional training and the opportunities, the people that he's meeting, all that will not be actually happening. So once again, thank you very much. And Shamus Bhai, if you wanted to invite us along again, we'll be more welcome.
I'll try my best. As I said, I'll try to get you in the Bengali program as well. Sooner or later, I'll let you know on that. And I want all of us in here. Without all of you in here, this show is not a show. So thank you, everyone.
The thing I was going to say is, just to add on, is obviously performance at ethnic tennis. On Instagram, I would urge the viewers to actually have a look at the page, and then, find out a little bit more about us, because there's some videos, some photographs that will actually inform them about us. Give Joseph or Hassan a message through the DM direct messaging.
Thank you very much. If those who have missed anything, you can always look at our recording, and it's very, very important to all this ethnic community, BME community, people who's a business people who want to sponsor, and podiatrists, because it's led by one of our colleagues. So please do so. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for watching. If we made any mistake, please forgive us. And inshallah, we'll see you next time. Ar amra Bangali ekta star, Bangali amra jara Bangali professional asi, Bengali businessmen, please come forward, help this organization. It's set up by a podiatrist, a foot doctor, and my colleague. So at least make me proud. Thank you very much, and all the best, and Khuda Hafiz. Another word. Yeah, I'm still alive, so you can say one more minute, then gone.
সর্বশেষে হইতাম হইল গিয়া রিজনে ধন্যবাদ স্যার আমরা বাংলাদেশ কমিউনিটি হইল গিয়া রিজনে হুনার দায় আর যতটুকু আমি জানি যে আমার জানা মতো সাইটটা ছেলে ইনক্লুডিং রাহিল আসেন হইল গিয়া টেনিস প্লেয়ার হইল গিয়া ইউকের মাঝে তো very small group মানে প্লেয়ার যখন আমরা চাই যে আরো মানুষের জয়েন করুকা জার্নিটা বাক্কা বিউটিফুল আসছে আর যেমন আর কি হেল্প ফলোর দায় রিফ্রেশিং থাকবো সারা ফ্যামিলির দায় তো কথা যেমন আর কি লুকিং করেন দেখুন ফলো করেন আমি মনে করি আর কি তারা ডিসঅ্যাপয়েন্টেড হইতো না
Thank you. You've said it. All the best, everybody, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.